Almost exactly by my watch. Thanks for coming. Everybody else appreciated? All good? All right, we've got a good crowd today. Okay, so today is our mobile talk. We haven't had one in a while, so we're really excited to have Linda Daichendt, rhymes with patient. All right, so first of all, we'd like to thank our sponsor, Bob Ferran, as always. He's our new sponsor. You can visit him at bobferranphoto.com. He does advertising photography and a little bit of personal photography, so check him out there. And then as always, we want to remind you about our social media for LA2M. That's kind of what I do. I'm Tiffany Reisner, by the way. I work at Ingenics, and one of my projects is LA2M. So I do marketing, social media, lots of fun stuff like that. So you can usually find me tweeting. If you want to follow us, we are at LA2M. And if you want to live tweet during the event, please feel free. We'll definitely retweet you, send out to our network of over 3,000 people. And you can do that using the hashtag LA2M. Also, we have a Foursquare check-in for you Foursquare people. I know we've got a big mobile crowd here today, so I know you all have your smartphones. So please feel free to check in. We're really excited to have you. And do we have any first-timers here today? Anyone who's new? Awesome. Thanks for coming. We're really excited to have you. Hopefully we'll see you next week. And as Derek likes to say, we are old school. So LA2M is free. We're a 501c3 nonprofit. And we do take donations. It's a suggested donation of $3, but other than that, we're free. I think last year we donated it to the Delonis Center. And then we also did something for Peace Neighborhood too. So we're all about supporting the local community, and we might be doing an education project this year for it. There's word on the street of that. So let's see what else we've got here. All right, we'll get to our speaker, the main event. It's Linda Daichendt. She is the CEO of Strategic Growth Concepts, and she is an accomplished marketer and award-winning blogger. I don't know if you've been to her site yet. Hopefully she'll tell you what the URL is soon. But she is a new media person, and she has 20-plus years of corporate, small business, and franchising experience. Also, as many of you mostly probably know her, she's a mobile woman. She is the founder and executive director of the Mobile Technology Association of Michigan, as well as the co-founder of Mobile Monday Michigan, and also the Mobile Marketing Review co-host and co-producer. She's very accomplished. We're so excited to have you. Without further ado, Linda.
Okay, can you hear me? Yeah. Okay, all right. Okay. Used to the handheld microphone, so bear with me. So, first off, I have a number of questions. How many of you have a cell phone? Okay. Of those who have a cell phone, how many have a smartphone? Okay. Okay. And of those who have a cell phone of any kind, how many also have a tablet device? Okay. Okay. All right. And is there anybody who does not have their cell phone with them today that actually owns one? Didn't think so. Okay. All right. So, what we're going to talk about today, I want to give you just a very brief introduction to a lot of aspects of mobile, but we're going to concentrate mostly on marketing. Okay? So again, just for those who are interested, this is the projects that I'm involved in. And we're going to have a brief video as soon as it gets started here. Try it again. Okay, maybe we won't have a brief video. Apparently it doesn't like this room. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit first off about how mobile technology can be utilized in a variety of aspects of your business. And so the first thing I wanted to talk about is mobile advertising. Most of you are probably somewhat familiar with it. Raise your hands if you have never heard of mobile marketing at this point. Okay, good. I was hoping not. All right. Also, next thing is using it for customer service. That may be something you hadn't thought about, using mobile technology for customer service. Inventory management. There's also mobile technologies that you can use for inventory management. Production. It is actually being used on the manufacturing production lines. Accounting. Your field staff can communicate with you using mobile technology. They can put in orders, they can submit expense reports, all those sorts of things. They can do quotes. So again, those are not things that we're going to concentrate on today, but if anybody is ever interested in talking more about those, please feel free to get in touch with me. Our emphasis today, as I said, is going to be on mobile marketing. And I thought we'd first look at why it's important to talk about mobile and start including it in your marketing strategy. The first part of this is probably the most important. There are 6.7 billion people in the world currently. Of those, 5 billion have cell phones of some kind, versus 1.1 billion who have PCs. Kind of shocking, isn't it? It really is. And that's a real number, and it's expected to go much higher very, very quickly. This year, we're expected to hit 7 billion people in the world, and the number for having mobile devices is supposed to go up to about 5.3, they estimate. So it's growing very, very quickly. The graph at the bottom basically just shows the by generation, Gen Y and boomers, who's using what. But again, this graph honestly is not the most up to date, so I can tell you that the number of boomers using mobile is substantially higher than is represented here. This gives you an interesting graphic in that it shows that mobile is not actually used to make phone calls anymore. How many of you actually use your phone the most for making phone calls? How many use it for texting? How many use it for checking email? Okay. So you can see the diversity of how things are getting started. I'm not going to even go into all the other potential uses. So this started about the beginning of 2008, where basically cell phone wasn't about making phone calls anymore. Some interesting study information. Studies indicate that by 2013, U.S. will top 100% per capita as far as cell phone devices. Now, you may think that that means that the industry is going to stop growing. I'll show you some statistics later that will show you why that is the case. 84% of all mobile users keep their cell phone within 10 feet of them at all times, even at night. How many of you do that? It's kind of sad, actually, but consumer use on the internet has grown over 1,200% in the last few years. 97% of consumers who get a text message respond to it, or excuse me, look at it within 15 minutes. They respond to it within an hour. So I'm assuming we have a large proportion of actual marketers in this room. How many of you know of any other marketing medium where you can get 97% to look at your marketing message ever, let alone within 15 minutes? Can anybody name one? Okay. Average response rate, 12 to 15%. As opposed to direct mail, say, for example, 2 to 3%. 12 to 15% is the average, but many companies, particularly restaurants, fast food, some retailers, are seeing response rates as high as 60%, 60%. It's huge. People like it, it's convenient. One thing that I do want to make a couple of points about. A lot of times when I give these presentations, one of the questions is, or one of the statements that's often made is, my customers aren't going to want that. They're not going to want this thing coming to their phone with all of these messages, all this spam. Well, the thing you have to remember about mobile marketing is it is a regulated medium. The FCC regulates it. It is totally opt-in. So the people who are going to be getting your messages are the people who have opted in to receive your messages. If they've opted in and said they want to get messages from your company, the likelihood that they're going to be reading them is much higher, okay? Because they've said they want to hear from you. And obviously, because the requirements are that you include an opt-out message every time you send them something. If you start sending them spam, they will opt out. 38% of people polled said that they had taken action based on a mobile ad. 30% said that mobile ads had led them to share personal information. 22% say that mobile ads had influenced a purchase decision. 1/3 of mobile searches are tied to local. Local is becoming a huge part of mobile. This is something that is helping small businesses really level the playing field against the big companies. Local is going to be huge on mobile. 27% of U.S. mobile web users have clicked on a mobile ad. 53% would share their location to receive a coupon or a relevant ad. Mobile coupon redemption is 10 times that of your standard paper coupons. How many times if you're a coupon user, have you gone to the grocery store or wherever and wished you had remembered to bring the coupon with you? Now it's on your phone. Or it can be. B2B. A lot of people think that mobile marketing is just about consumers. That is definitely not the case. B2B is one of the fastest growing areas of mobile marketing. By 2015, more than 50% of mobile users will be using their cell phones to do their banking. And I don't just mean checking their balance, like a lot of banks have you able to do now, or getting text alerts. I mean actually doing your banking on your mobile phone. 1 out of every 7 minutes of reading a newspaper or watching TV or listening to the radio or reading a magazine is all done on your cell phone now, or some sort of mobile device. It could be a tablet as well. 95% of the respondents said they use mobile to fill downtime. This one is interesting. 82% use it while at work, 81% use it while shopping, 80 at home, and 65 while commuting. I'm certainly hoping they're all on trains or carpools. But I'm afraid they're not, actually. 77% of those polled said that they use TV and mobile at the same time. U.S. citizens are the ultimate multitaskers, and mobile is making us more so. Okay. 55% of mobile users are following brands across many channels. Mobile, internet, social media, everywhere they can find a channel, they're following them. And so you have to be cognizant of the fact that all of your channels have to work together. They all have to be interrelated. 56% say they have been driven to mobile from other media. That's one of the things that you need to recognize about mobile marketing. It is not a standalone medium. It works best when it is integrated to your entire overall marketing strategy. It's not something that you just put it out there and hope people find it, because obviously it's an opt-in medium. You want to use it in conjunction with your print or your radio or whatever else it is that you're doing, and find ways to drive people to opt-in so that then you have the ability to communicate with them directly from that point going forward. Okay? 42% say they have been driven from mobile to other media. So if you now have them in your opt-in list and you send them your monthly newsletter for your company by text message, and in that newsletter you have a QR code that sends them back to your website for this week's special of something or other, or gets them to register for an event or that sort of thing. It's a way of taking them back and forth between print and electronic media and really directing them where you want them to go. As long as they find value, they will do it. Why is it important? Because consumers and advertisers are leaving traditional media. You guys are all familiar with this, I'm sure. And they're going to mobile. 93% of U.S. residents have a cell phone. Now, the interesting thing is, in Michigan, we only have 76%, which is kind of interesting. But we're working on changing that. However, as I said earlier, you might think that having market penetration of that rate means that the growth is about to stop. That is absolutely not the case. In Europe, for example, they're already at 140%, and that is because people have multiple devices. It's estimated in the next couple of years, probably within the next 3 to 5 years, we will probably be at a 200% penetration in the U.S. I thought this might be interesting. I'm not going to go through it in depth because there's a lot of data here, but once it's posted on the website, you can look at it in more depth. But what this does is it breaks down mobile users by generation and how they're using their devices. So I think this can be very good information for you if you're targeting certain groups, demographic groups, and you're trying to decide how you might like to use mobile, what's going to be most effective for your company. I think this can be very helpful to you in making that decision. This is another way of showing it. Text messages, obviously the largest users are the youngest users, but don't be mistaken. Boomers are the fastest growing as far as using text messaging. So for those of us who are a little over that line, don't think we're not using it. Okay? Same with the mobile web. There's a lot of discussion going on these days about which is going to become dominant, whether it's going to be mobile apps, mobile web. The podcast that was referred to in my introduction is actually an international podcast that I do. And I work with a woman out of Germany, and I work with the author of the Mobile Marketing Handbook, who is based in Colorado. And one of the things that I've been exposed to by doing this broadcast with them is the fact that here in the U.S., we're all about apps. Everywhere else in the world, they don't even use them. Everything they do is on the mobile web. Okay. It is anticipated in most of the studies being done that we will continue to be very app-happy for the next 3 years or so, and after that we will be like everybody else and we'll be mobile web focused. Okay. There's pluses and there's minuses to it, and we'll go through some of that in a little bit. What do consumers actually think about mobile? 73% surveyed say they are interested in receiving coupons. 13% are not. They want it. Again, if you provide value, they're going to let you on their cell phone or their tablet. But you have to provide value. It's the same as you've been given this lecture with regard to social media. It's the same thing with mobile. Again, their level of comfort. They're very comfortable. 38% are very comfortable with mobile advertising. 25% are somewhat comfortable. 16 don't have an opinion. 12 are definitely not comfortable. They'll get comfortable. It's not going anywhere. Mobile coupons are expected to totally grow and become a major way of doing marketing. Coupons now are not necessarily that big a thing for anybody in any venue except for obviously restaurants and retail. It is going to get to the point where all kinds of businesses are going to be doing coupons because they can do them on a mobile device and people will always have them handy. The good thing about doing them on a mobile device is they're highly targetable. You can gather a lot of information about the people in your mobile database and you can target very specifically. So you might send an offer to somebody in California for one product and send an offer to somebody in Maine about a different product, all at the same time and automatically. Polled about whether or not they're interested in receiving mobile coupons and how they're interested in receiving them. You can see that the majority want to have them as a text message. They don't necessarily want to receive them in the store as they're walking in. Just a smaller percentage do that. And they don't necessarily have an interest in going in search of them either. They do want to receive them, but again, it's all about providing value. Again, this is just another representation of how interested they are and in what ages that they're interested in receiving mobile communications from you. And again, boomers are obviously less, older than that is obviously less, but it is growing substantially. And remember what I said, the baby boomers are the fastest growing generation using mobile. While we're obviously not dominant yet, we are the fastest growing. This identifies some of the ways that mobile is being utilized. Grocery coupons, things that they're interested in getting on their smartphone, barcodes, we'll talk about those QR codes in a few minutes, offers that they can pursue at their leisure, movie theater offers. So there's a wide diversity. Let's talk about the impact for a minute. I mentioned earlier, 97% who get a text message look at it within 15 minutes. The actual ROI on mobile is 6 times higher than email. This talks about how consumers are utilizing mobile, what they're actually doing on the phones. Again, because our time is limited, I don't want to spend a lot of time going through this. This will be posted and you'll be able to go through it in depth. Okay. This one talks about the changes that have come because of the adoption of smartphones versus feature phones. What was the number again of how many are still using a feature phone? Raise your hands. Anybody?
What?
A feature phone, not an iPod, or not an iPhone, not an Android, not a BlackBerry, not a Palm. One of the basic phones. Okay. Yeah. You get a telephone. Okay. All right. You can see the difference in all of the activities that have grown because of the mass adoption of the smartphones. That is going to continue to be the case. It is going to continue to evolve. Some of the things that they're doing online, one of the biggest things that surprised me, they're looking at the weather. Okay, I guess that's a good thing, but I would think they're already in it. And, I don't know. Search is a really big part of it, and it's going to continue to be a really big part of it. And again, this is where that whole local element comes in. So if you're trying to find ways to really promote your local clients or your company locally, this mobile search is a way to do that. Now this is an area of mobile advertising that really is just starting to take hold, and there's a lot of diverse opinions right now on how well it works. But I think if you're using something like a Foursquare or a Groupon or those kinds of things, they've got a lot of things built into their platform to make it very user-friendly for you. Just doing search itself at this point, I would not necessarily recommend. I'd wait maybe another year before you actually start doing SEO on the phone like you would on the internet. Use of mobile categories by age. I thought it was kind of interesting to take a look at the media and entertainment category and the consumer categories and look how dominant the 30 to 49-year-old audience is in those areas. So I think it might give you some perspective on what the things are that they're using the phone for and who's using them. This talks about the male versus female. Men do tend to be early adopters. Women are catching up very quickly. So the types of mobile marketing available, pretty diverse. A lot of companies are obviously entering into this. These are some names you might recognize if you ever want to look up examples of companies that are doing it and doing it well. These are definitely some that I would recommend that you look up. The most common methods of doing mobile marketing are the three that you see on the screen. Applications are definitely the richest experience. They give you the most capabilities. They usually have the best graphics. They usually have the coolest capabilities. They're definitely high-end experiences. The pros and cons, you have to do them specific to the platform. You either have to make an iPhone app, or you have to make an Android app, or you have to make a BlackBerry app. And that can get expensive if you're going to make an app for each platform. And if you don't make an app for each platform, then you're excluding segments of your audience. And do you really want to do that? Okay? So that is one of the reasons why mobile websites are becoming much more used, because one size fits all. It doesn't matter what phone you have. It doesn't even matter if you have a smartphone. As long as you have a phone that has internet access of any kind, you can use a mobile website. Okay? So they are definitely becoming a mass medium. But the number one way of marketing on mobile is through texting. It is far and away the number one medium. And you might think that it's really difficult to communicate an offer and all kinds of information in 160 characters, but I honestly think that Twitter has had a lot to do with educating us in how to communicate really effectively in short phrases. And so you will find that companies are having a great deal of success using SMS. It's also the cheapest. Okay? So up here, I'm not going to go through these examples. I'd be happy to do it in person afterwards with anybody who's interested. But this just gives you some examples and what you can see. If you look, for example, on the right at the clinic ad, you'll see that how they're using it in their ad to refer people to get them to text in and get a gift. They've incentivized them to come into their opt-in program so that then they will be able to communicate with them going forward directly. Okay. MMS, multimedia. So basically, what you'll see on the screen may have a video behind it, it may have an audio behind it. It's interactive multimedia messaging. Okay. Mobile apps. Anybody here who has not used a mobile app before? Okay. All right. We'll do some demos. Okay. After I'll do some private demos if you're interested. Okay, mobile websites. Hyatt actually is doing extensive work with their mobile website. It has become their number one way of getting reservations. They're thrilled to death with mobile these days. I've also listed the URLs for the Mobile Technology Association, Go Mobile Michigan, and also the mobile website for my company, which is still in development. So you may not see a whole lot on mine. QR codes. Anybody ever heard of QR codes?
Yeah.
Anybody ever used one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Quick response codes. These are the barcodes of the mobile world, and basically the difference between them and the barcode that you see at the grocery store is these hold a whole lot more information. You can put videos inside them, you can link them to websites, you can put your entire business card information. Right? Pretty much if you can dream of it, you can do it. Okay? So it enables you to add a whole lot more information. You print it on something, you put it on a website, you put it someplace you want them to read, and it takes them to something else. You see Best Buy is using them a lot. The one on the right is actually on a billboard in Times Square. And if I remember correctly, I think that took them to a website for a retailer, one of the national ones, I can't remember who. Mobile banner and video ads. Each of these that you're seeing on the screen, basically the ones for Glee, if you clicked on that banner ad on your phone, it took you to an audio of the song from the show. The one for the Superman photo, that banner took you to a sneak peek trailer of the movie. The one from Ford takes you to a video about Ford, about the car. Okay? So there's a lot that you can do with these. It lets you be very interactive. It lets you be very targeted in your communications. And it lets you do it a lot more cost effectively than you think. Mobile commerce. How many of you are afraid of mobile commerce? No? Good. I do have a mobile audience in the room. Mobile commerce is going to become huge this year. It is already being done in most parts of the world. Yes?
Can you back up and just make sure we all understand your definition of it?
Mobile commerce, well, there's a lot of definitions of it. It's mobile banking, being able to pay your bills online, being able to check your bank balance, make a deposit, withdraw money. It can also be holding your phone up to the cash register at the gas station and paying with your mobile phone. It can be going to the pop machine someplace, holding up your phone and getting a pop out of the pop machine, not having to insert change anymore. It could be paying for movie theater tickets right there at the counter using your mobile phone. I mean, it literally is anything that requires a financial transaction. You no longer have to carry money. You no longer have to carry credit cards. In Asia, they do not carry either. Everything is done with their mobile phone. Although, these days, who knows? But they are 3 to 5 years ahead of us in what they're doing and how they're using mobile. Europe is just a little bit behind them. We're definitely behind them, but we're catching up quick. The technologies already exist. They just don't exist here yet. They are, however, starting to put the chips into the phones. There's only a few of them right now that have them in, but very soon, as you start upgrading your devices yet again to the next level, you will start to have that capability within your phone. The retailers will start embracing it. They'll all have that capability built into their register systems and their payment systems. You know, it'll start with the credit card companies. There's a lot of studies going on right now between the credit card companies, the carriers. It will all start there, and then it will spread out to the actual companies. Okay? Additional types of marketing, Bluetooth technology. Literally, you could, say for example, you're going into a mall. There's a kiosk in the mall. You're looking for a specific type of shoe. You want to find the best price on it in the mall. You don't feel like walking the whole mall. So you go to this kiosk. You tell it what kind of shoe you're looking for, and you say, show me specials. So it brings up every store in the mall that has that shoe, shows you which ones have specials. You click on the one that you're interested in having a coupon for, and it sends it to your phone. You now have that coupon in your phone. You go to that store directly, you pay for it, and have the coupon from your phone. That's Bluetooth technology. Well, it exists. It's just not being used much. There are some places where it's being used. Okay? Mostly they are not here. Mostly they are in California. Okay? Location-based marketing, I think most of you understand somewhat what that is when you think about Foursquare. But think of it in this term. An example who's doing a good job of this is Subway. Subway, if you have opted in to their list, and not all their stores are doing this, but many of them are. If you have opted into their list, and you happen to be driving by one of their participating stores during a time of day when they're running a special, which is typically obviously going to be around lunchtime when people are starting to get hungry, or dinner time, they will sense you being within a certain proximity of their store, and you will automatically get a coupon. The idea being, hopefully, it will drive you into the store even though you hadn't planned on going there. Okay? Now again, it can't come to you unless you have opted in to receive things from them. Okay? All right. Interactive voice response. You can have messages that you're interacting with people. It's similar to voicemail, but just at another level. And mobile SEO we already talked about. What are the benefits? It's immediate. You can put it in place very quickly, particularly if you're talking about text messaging. It's not complicated. People think it is. People think it's very expensive. People think that it's prohibitive to do. There are platforms that you can be set up with that are extremely user-friendly. Literally, I could have you trained in 2 hours on a system, and you could be putting out your own text messages. And you could be doing it for as little as $25 a month. Unlimited messaging. So this is not highly costly. It's very cost effective. It's very user friendly. It just depends on what type of platforms you're using, and frankly, the costs are all over the place. You can find 10 platforms that do the exact same thing, and you will find 10 different prices. That's the one drawback to mobile these days, is it is definitely the wild, wild west as far as pricing and capabilities. And you could spend months literally searching all of the companies and platforms that are out there to provide you with services to do this. Obviously, it's in your best interest not to do that. It's to find somebody who can refer you to the right places. Affordability, as I said, very cost effective. Distribution, very easy to get your message out, very easy to get responses. Response rate is very high. The effectiveness of the mobile marketing is very high. It can be very personal and targeted if you want it to be. You can gather information and you can do very highly targeted marketing. It just depends on what mobile platform and what type of mobile systems you're going to be using. Mobility and reachability. You don't have to wait for them to get home and get on their PC. You can reach them wherever they are, sitting in the doctor's office, waiting in line at the grocery store, wherever they are, you can now reach them. You don't have to wait for them to come to you anymore. Okay? Interactive. You can make mobile highly interactive. Even the text messaging, you can be set up so that they give you responses you're looking for. That helps you gather more data, and you then can send out a response that is appropriate from you based on whatever they answered you. So that sort of thing is possible with this. Marketing campaign integration. Very easy to integrate mobile into your overall marketing strategies. You have to think about it. You have to strategize it. You have to think, keep in mind, I've got to get these people to opt in so that I can communicate with them on an ongoing basis. So you have to strategize the best way to do it so that you're maximizing all of the tools at your disposal. But it's very easy to get done. Quantifiable. You can track everything in mobile. Depends on what you're using. It depends on what platform you're using. Obviously, the platforms that have the more capabilities are going to be more expensive. But it is all possible to track depending upon what kind of investment you want to make. The wow factor. It's still got a really big wow factor, and it's probably going to for quite some time. So those of you that are using it are definitely going to be ahead of the curve in how you are perceived by your customers and potential customers. The viral potential. It is easily shared with friends, family, other business associates, so they can take your text message and forward it to 10 people, and so now you're marketing to 10 people and it hasn't cost you a dime. Okay. If you'd like to see an example, and this is just a demo, this is not actually registering you for anything, you'll never get another message, you can text join now to 57711. This will give you an example of how you can gather multiple levels of information.
Will this work on Google Voice too?
I'm sorry?
Will this work on Google Voice too? By text by Google Voice?
I don't know. That's a good
Okay,
question.
right.
All right. Then we'll all know. And then the last one, if any of you would like my business card and you would like it digitally, just take a picture of this QR code, or you can just enter in the URL. And that business card will actually have the video I was going to show today as well. And that is it. Questions? Yes?
Yeah. I think concern about this. Criminals spend billions to crack the codes that are around all these devices. It would seem to me that the potential for fraud would really start kicking in.
Well, the potential for fraud exists like it exists on the internet, but mobile security is one of the hottest areas of growth right now as far as what companies are concentrating on. There are a lot of very, very smart people who are working on that issue, and while there are some issues and some companies where I would think that there are going to be problems, I think in the very near future it's not going to be an issue, and I think once they feel very confident that mobile security is no longer going to be an issue, that's when mobile commerce will really take off. But as you can tell, just with what's happened recently with Epsilon, I mean, we've had all of these protocols and things on the internet for years and years and years, and yet it's still possible. Anything's possible. But obviously the people in the industry will be doing everything that they can to ensure that that doesn't happen.
Let's give Linda a round of applause first. We're actually going to give her an All right, so we'll do about 10 minutes of questions. And then we'll do a round of, you can introduce yourself, and if you have an ask or if you just want to tell a little bit about yourself, you're welcome to. If we can do that in 10 minutes. But first we have a live tweet question for you, using the hashtag LA2M. They asked, you mentioned something about email marketing. Have you seen an increase in email marketing open rates because so many people are checking their email mobilely?
Yes, email is definitely getting more visibility. The problem is a lot of the email marketing companies do not yet really, they have not mobile optimized their email. So you're reading it as a regular email, and it depends on what phone you're using, how well that is going to look on your phone. But yes, it is definitely impacting the open rates of email.
Excellent, and that question was from @D_W8. So do we have any other questions?
I was wondering, over in Asia, how have they solved the security problem? If everyone, instead of pulling out their credit card, pulls out their phone.
Well, as in most of the environment of mobile technology, they're ahead of us on the security as well. But again, those technologies are starting to come to us, and they operate differently there. And so I can't answer specifically, but I can tell you in pretty much every aspect of mobile, including security, they are several years ahead of us. Yes?
It doesn't work on Google Voice.
It does not. Okay.
It does not. But then my other question is this. You say the rest of the world is on mobile web and we're all app happy. Yet I see Google I/O selling out in 59 minutes. It's largely focused on developing mobile apps for Android. And this year's WWD, or Apple Worldwide Developer Conference, sold out in 12 hours. Also largely focused on mobile development. So why won't the rest of the world become like us versus us becoming like them?
Well, obviously I can't predict what the rest of the world is going to do, but if it follows the same trend of everything else that is happening in mobile, it is more likely that we will go the way they're going. Again, I think the main reason is because of the problem that I indicated, that you have to build it specifically for a certain mobile platform, and that can become very costly. Now, there are a lot of conversations going on right now where there are technologies where you can build it once and it will work on multiple platforms. And there are some people like Dave Kozel in this room who could probably talk about that a little bit more than I can because it's very technical. But I think as those technologies continue to develop, I do think it will extend the life of our mobile app happy kind of environment.
You know, I don't know if I represent a small percentage of the population, but when I get an unsolicited response on my mobile, I find it rather intrusive. And I'm just wondering, through your studies, have you identified the acceptance of giving an unsolicited response?
Well, again, you shouldn't be getting anything that is unsolicited because we are an opt-in medium and it is a regulated medium. So if you are getting something that is unsolicited from a company you did not opt into, your first call needs to be to your carrier because somebody has obviously found a way to get your mobile number and you need to make sure to get removed from their list and make sure you're not being charged for that. And there are some companies, frankly, it's starting to become a big thing. Selling a mobile phone number list is illegal. But there are some companies that are doing it, and so there are companies that are starting to get sued for it. There are also criminal charges pending against some companies. The FCC is starting to take a very strong stance on this, and that will continue to become much more aggressively done.
All right, who's first? You guys want to start?
Yes, just based on the last question, I've just noticed in the last couple of weeks I've been getting unsolicited texts to my phone, and I'm just wondering, it'd be pretty simple for somebody to just randomly make up 10-digit phone numbers and go right down the line and you'd be sending out random texts to people's phones. You wouldn't even need to work from any sort of list, just based on an area code.
Yeah, it's certainly possible, but again, they could also just as easily be getting a home phone, a landline-based phone.
I've never gotten a ad of any kind except for from Verizon, let's say, for instance. How do I even get? How do I? Is it through my own habits that I should be paying attention to mobile ads on, let's say,
To get on a list and that sort of thing?
yeah, I don't even know how. Let's say I want to get a coupon from Connor O'Neill's. How do I even do that? Because I never receive anything via text message.
Well, and again, you will start to see more of it. People will be running them a lot in their ads. They'll say, text number to join our opt-in club. Or they'll say, click this QR code to enter into our opt-in club or to receive special offers from us. Or they'll say, if you want this coupon, enter our opt-in club, that sort of thing, so that we can send you messages in the future. They'll start to include it, as I said, as an integrated part of their overall marketing strategy. There was a couple of them, I was told, I believe it or not, did not watch the Super Bowl this year, but I was told that there was a couple of them on the Super Bowl where you could opt in to get something. So you'll start to see it on TV. You will start to see it a lot in newspaper. You will start to see it on their internet. It's happening now. It's just not all that dominant yet, but it will start to become more so. You will start to notice it everywhere you go.
All right, we have time for about one more question. Does anyone have a burning question they need to ask? No? Oh, one?
I hope somebody asked this while I stepped out. But how do you make a QR code? Is there some sort of online platform, or do you hire a programmer, or like, how do you make a QR code?
There's a variety of ways. There are free platforms on the internet where you can do it. The problem with using those is obviously the quality sometimes of the codes is not very good and they don't always work. Most of them also do not necessarily provide tracking capabilities. There are companies that do that specifically. The one you're looking at for me, that was actually done by a company in West Michigan, Grand Rapids, and you can see that obviously in my case my logo's in the center of it. The ones that you can do using free resources, you can't put a logo in the middle of them like that. So if you're interested in that, I can refer you to some specific people.
All right. You can ask after. Sorry, we're running out of time right now. All right, so we're going to start with Kevin Gillespie, fellow Ingenexer.
Hi, I'm Kevin Gillespie, excited to be COO of Ingenix, work with Tiffany, the rest of the team. Good to see everybody here today, and want to hear what you all do.
I'm Mark Olivier, and I do affiliate marketing.
My name is KJ, Kyle Jones, and I do app development for the iPhone.
My name is Jeanette Gutierrez, and I do social media marketing, design, and branding for companies large and small.
Karen Hesselberg, and I'm a nurse, if I can help you with anything.
Katie Marsack with Graphic Color Exhibits. We do trade show displays and corporate and event signage.
Dave Kosil with Arbor Software, and we help companies build mobile apps.
Hi, Brian Biskiner from 2020 Communications. We do wireless and terrestrial data and voice solutions.
Bob Amarikian, I'm an angel capital investor, always looking for new investment opportunities.
I'm Drew Jolly, and I'm also an angel capital investor.
Hi, I'm Bob Fran, and I'm Bob Fran Photography.
Sponsor.
Hi, I'm Cheryl O'Brien with the Ann Arbor Ypsilanti Regional Chamber, otherwise known as A2I Chamber. If you want to grow your business, come and talk to me. Hi, everyone. Kendra Kerr with the Entrepreneur Source. I help people buy franchises.
Laura Spenceley, Serco of Canton, Serco, Washington County, your 24-hour fire and water mediation specialist, 300,000 square feet, 24 hours, like it never even happened.
Hi, my name is Nikki, and I work for LA2M. Hi, I'm Megan Crosby of the Charles Reinhardt Company. We're celebrating our 40th year in business. There may or may not be someone in this room whose birthday is today, and who may or may not work for Sailor Training. Hi, I'm Shannon Beeman. I'm with Washtenaw Community College, the Small Business Technology Development Center there. We offer counseling, training, and market research at low to no cost for entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Hello, I'm Dave Owens. I'm with Logic Solutions, and we do web development, mobile development, and other transformations for companies.
Hi, I'm Michael Gackler, MJG Social Media. We create and maintain Facebook pages, Twitter timelines, and LinkedIn and Foursquare accounts for businesses, organizations, school districts, and now also dental and orthodontics offices.
Hi, my name is Rich Austin. My business is called Sandler Trading. I was going to buy a home through Reinhardt. I don't know if I'm going to do that anymore. Tiffany, this is your first time hosting today. I think you did it like a pro.
My name is Lucky Lin. I'm with Mandy and Pandy. We teach kids Chinese in a fun and easy way. And I came here today to look for a company that can do apps. We have 6 books. We want to put it onto the iPad, the iPhone, and these other platforms. So I'll be looking out for a couple of people here.
I'm Pat Gage with Phoenix Media Group, where we do social media marketing as well as put you on the top of Google, your business. And this Saturday we're holding a free training in Livonia, 7 steps of dominating the first page of Google. It's a free seminar, 10 to 2 or 1 to 3. So come and see me and get a flyer. Thank you. Hi, I'm Tom Crawford, and among other things, I'm a mobile app developer. You can check out my VizChef app for the iPad. It's on the store now, and VizChef for the iPhone will be out Friday, Monday, Tuesday, somewhere in there whenever Apple approves it. So if you're having trouble in the kitchen or know somebody who is and you want to learn how to cook better, you can see with over 1,900 pictures, step-by-step, 60 recipes. In addition, this Friday is TEDx U of M. It's happening over at the Michigan Theater. You can see 20 amazing, incredible speakers. I'm the speaker coach for that, so I can actually say they're actually going to be really good. No help from me, but their topics are amazing. And it starts at 10, goes till 5. They are taking walk-ups, even though it's sold out, so that's a kind of first-come, first-served basis based on people who don't show up, and they're live streaming as well if you can't make it, so check it out.
I'm Roger Rail. I do live streaming of video, among other things, so if you have any events that you need live streamed, let me know.
Hi everybody, my name is Tony Zink with Arbor Federated. If you are part of a homeowners association or a condominium association, or if you manage an apartment community, then Arbor Federated can help you to build a website to broadcast important information out to the residents who are part of your community, and to give them tools to connect with one another and meet one another and actually talk to one another. ArborFederated.com.
Hi, I'm Mary Lou Olds, and I am a representative for and do the marketing for Boulevard Financial and Insurance. We work with you to build a secure financial future by planning for tomorrow today. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Hi, I'm Megan McCann with Search Ad Marketing. We do pay-per-click, done-for-you services as well as Facebook management, primarily focusing on the advertising side of it. On a training note, we have an AdWords workshop coming up at Sandler Training on April 16th. It's a full-day workshop. On April 30th, again at Sandler Training, we have a Facebook free 2-hour seminar. And then on May 7th in Livonia, we have a full-day How to Use Facebook for Your Business boot camp in Livonia. So if anybody would like information on those events, just come see me afterwards. And I just want to say, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rich. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
That was really fun, Megan. Thank you so much because you saved me from doing that. I am Dee Davey. I'm an independent marketing contractor, and I help product development teams bring ideas for new services to life if they don't have the time or resource to get the idea off the ground. Dee Davey.
Hi, I'm Susan Huntsberger of Strategize Organize LLC. I'm a professional organizer. I work with people and their paper, things, and space in residential and also educational settings.
Hi, I'm Joel Vergun with Dishfish. We do mobile business cards that double as discount fundraising cards. So they can help you keep in touch, save money at local merchants, and raise money for worthy causes. Dishfish.com.
I'm Bud Gibson, professor at Eastern Michigan University. I developed the search marketing program there. We're very excited to be doing our second annual web marketing practicum this summer, focused on search, mobile, and social. And you can find us by just looking for search mobile, and no, it's search social at mobile on Facebook.
My name is Jay Warner. I'm senior project manager specializing in SharePoint.
Hi, I'm Susan Warner. I'm his moral support. I fly 747 for Atlas Air. So any business that you are helping build, I'm probably moving the cargo.
Hi, I'm Carter Sherline, Frog Print Studios, and I'm a commercial editorial and portrait photographer.
I'm coming. All right, so join us next week. Do you have information next week? Okay, great. It's Charlie Kondek. He is the Director of Social Media at MSL Detroit, and he's going to be talking to us about integrated marketing, so taking all the things that you've learned here, traditional and online marketing, and putting them together to suit your business needs. All right, we'll see you next week. Derek will be back. Thanks for coming, and have a safe drive.